Hi everyone, this is James, and I'd like to welcome you to a special edition of the Oracle Outlook. I'm calling this the Samhain edition because I'm filming this on Friday, October 31st, and it is Samhain, and so you will see that I am observing Samhain by having two candles on the table. One is on the left, it is pink, and it is for Friday being associated with Venus. And so Venus is associated with the color pink. And then on the right side of the table, you will see a purple candle. And I'm using that because when I observe and celebrate Samhain, I rely heavily on divination work this day. And so the purple candle is an acknowledgement of intuition, psychic ability, or psychic awareness, and spirit communication. So that is what you're seeing with the candles on the table. And so I'm going to be working with my beloved Mitchell fortune telling oracle for this edition, and I wanted to work with 3 lines of 5. I'm going to be doing one representing the mind, one representing the body, and one representing spirit. Get it? Mind, body, spirit. And so we're just going to jump right in. So first up, we're going to be doing a line of 5 for the mind. And so you could go with the idea of like, this is going to be about maybe our current mindset, or a situation that is actually on our minds, and or something that we may need to kind of reframe our minds around or about. So that's how I'm approaching this line. And I should say before I start, I'm working with my random method because you all continue to love that. And so what that means is, if you're here for the first time, that I'm going to be shuffling the cards, I'm going to be fanning them out, I'm going to be picking 5 cards face down, and I'm not going to pick a topic card or a focal card from the start. I'm going to let my intuition and the deck kind of pick the focus card. Alright, so I have the cards shuffled, cut, and dealt, and so here we have our line. So if you're no stranger to these videos, the way that I read a line of 5 is I start with the card in the middle. This is what I call the central issue card, the focus card, or the heart of the matter. So here for the oh, look at this, we have this tradition going on here. So here we have the man card in the middle of the line. So the man is a significator card. It represents a male. So if you're a man watching this video, this would be your significator. If you're a woman watching this, or if you've chosen this line, then this is a man who's playing a central role or part in how things are unfolding for you. Or going with the mind, this could be a significant man who's on your mind. Okay, so the way it works here, he has a directional cue. He's looking to the right. So these would be the cards that represent the future. And these cards, conversely, would be the past, or that this would be going forward with the situation, whatever the outer cards are. And then this would be what we call inauspicious placement, meaning like these are challenges regarding the situation that's maybe on his mind or on the woman's mind, if you're female. And then this would be what you're looking forward to, and maybe in terms of a resolution or an outcome. Okay, so now opening the line up, here we have the key card. So this makes sense in the situation that we're looking at, or with the line representing the mind. Key represents answers or solutions. So here we are, maybe possibly thinking about an answer or solution, or discovering an answer or solution to a situation, and in terms of its outcome. Right? This card is also about the truth, and it's also about revelation, things like that. It can also be that something that's important, vital, or certain. Right? And so I'm going to hold the card up slightly because of the candlelight. So that is what the key looks like in full. Okay? So that is the key card. So in between key and man, we have the fortune card. Okay, so now this is the best card in the deck. And so this card is about blessings or abundance. And so now I like this in a line representing the mind, because it could represent like being open or unlocking or an answer to blessings, to abundance. I like this card for Samhain, especially because here we have the harvest, right? When I designed this particular card, this is an Orisha, and the Orisha is Ashe Shaluga, and it's the Orisha that is associated with harvest and abundance and blessings. And so I also have flowers and shells in the image here in terms of the harvest, because those are things that you could offer to this particular Orisha. So again, fortune represents blessings, abundance, harvest. And as I'm looking at this, it reminds me of the adage, that you reap what you sow, right? So it could be maybe the answer or solution if you're looking for a different harvest or thinking about a different harvest. It may start with thinking differently about the metaphorical seeds that you've planted into a situation, right? Especially with these two cards possibly being about the past, right? But I would say that maybe people are thinking about answers or solutions that would enable them to reap a particular harvest, right? And so now going forward, here we have the man looking directly at the woman card. Look at this. So we have a relationship dynamic here. We have the man and the woman, and they are facing each other. So this is about agreement, right? This is about relationship. And the interesting thing, there's no card in between them, right? So this could be what's going on the man's side of the line, and then this would be what's going on her side of the line, so to speak. Now the other thing, when I designed the man and the woman cards in this deck, I went with the yellow shirt representing the sun, and then for the woman, there's the moon in the background. So this is the sun and the moon. So what I love about this in terms of Samhain, this is about the masculine, the divine masculine, and then the divine feminine, and the balance or the union between the two. So somebody may be thinking, if we go with the idea that these are not necessarily people, but they represent metaphor, this could be about how someone can create a greater sense of balance in their life. Or there is an acknowledgement of the masculine side of self and the feminine side of self. And then of course then this would be a nod to the day, because he's out in the day and she's out in the night. So there may be thinking about what you could do during the day and then what you could actively work on in the night. And then going with this, the yellow shirt being about the sun can represent ideas about optimism. He's wearing it, so wearing the attitude of optimism, positivity, success. The sun is about success. And then the moon here would be about being led and guided by your intuition. But it's also about honor and recognition. And maybe somebody thinking about their career, how they could have more abundance with their career. Or maybe thinking about their reputation. All those are aspects of the moon. So that's what I'm seeing here. I may come back to those if I get any more thoughts. But in the literal sense, this could be about a relationship between a man and a woman. And so as I said here, if you are male, this would be you. And if you're a female, then this would be a man who's on your mind. It would be work the same way with the woman card. If you're female, this would be you. And if you're male, then this would be a woman who's on your mind. So going back to the key card, this could be an answer, solution to a situation involving a man and a woman. And if this is about a relationship, let's say, thinking about a relationship, it's about how you could be more abundant or bring in more into that relationship. How can it blossom, right? All the flowers, how can it blossom? Right? And I would say maybe if that's the case, then this card may be offering the advice of being grateful for what you have with the relationship as it is. And when you focus on that, that will increase. So that's what I'm seeing here. So now let's take a look at the final card. And here we have, okay, so here we have the Death card. And so the Death card can represent an ending or a completion or a conclusion. It can also represent undergoing a great process of change, a profound sense of change. So now, being behind the woman, this could be a woman who's challenged with, and again, this would be in the mind, challenged with maybe letting go or letting something reach a natural state of conclusion. Right, being behind her, especially with the Reaper holding an hourglass, this could also be about the past, because the hourglass is a timing device, right? It's an instrument that is used to measure time. Yes? So, and I'll hold this up because I can see in my view that the candlelight may be shining on the image and you can't see it fully. So there's the Death card. Now, if we mirror the cards, Key and Death, this would be an answer, solution to bring something to a state of ending, completion, closure. Right? It could also be that the answer or the solution is to be patient, and that would go with the hourglass being about time. And what I love about this card here is that the Death card for me rules Scorpio in astrology. And so we are in Scorpio season now. So I just love the timing of it. So with that in mind, and I mentioned that as a possibility of the card, then this could be about doing something in the present moment, being present, right? If we're talking about Scorpio taking place right now, this could be about being present. So that's what I want to offer with this line. And so that, again, is going to be about the mind. And so now we're going to pick the cards up and we're going to do the next line focusing on the body. And I am back, and as you can see, the deck has been reassembled, and so now we're going to do a line on the body. And so when I'm talking about the body, this could be your external physical reality. So this could be literal things that you are experiencing in the physical, in the 3D sense. Okay. Alright, so we have the card shuffled, cut, and dealt. As you can see, this is the line, and so again, this is going to represent the body, so this would be about our physical affairs. Yes? So the middle card here would be the heart of the matter, and here we have falseness. Okay, so now here, this is a card that can represent something being considered to be a mistake, something being bad, something being off. It can also represent something that's being hidden or concealed because of the mask behind or in front of the woman's face, I should say. So now this is a cause and effect card, and I didn't say this earlier, so if you're new here, this is your first time experiencing me and reading with this particular deck, all the cards in the in the deck have different colored borders based on either aspects of life area, or functionality of the card. So this is a coral orange card, which means in my system this is a cause and effect, or cause and effect card, excuse me. And the way it works is that the card behind falseness here is the cause of whatever is considered to be bad, wrong, or the mistake, or what's being hidden, right? And then this would be the effect. So just keep that in mind as we go through the card. So now if this is about something being a mistake, something being off, something being wrong, or something being hidden or concealed, the other cards might give us more information about that. So starting the line off, we have the Gloomy Thoughts card. And so first thing I will point out, and I'll hold it up because of the possible candlelight, there's the image. So this is also a cause and effect card. So we have an interesting dynamic going on here because they can shift the story based on their function. So it's also a cause and effect card. So the card that would be here, if there was a card, would be the cause, and that would be behind the gentleman, you know. And then the middle card here that he's looking at would be the effect. So we have two cards, two cause and effect cards, and this is an interesting card here because it is being affected by both cards, right? Okay, so now the meaning of the card. So gloomy thoughts can represent something that is uncertain, something that is unclear, because this can represent confusion, doubt, uncertainty, right? And let's not leave out gloomy thoughts. So the idea here is that this is about a state of mind, right? So this could be a negative outlook or a pessimistic outlook. And then that outlook, that mindset would have an effect on whatever this card is, right? So for me, the chief meaning of this card is confusion, uncertainty, doubt, or it's about negativity and pessimism. Okay, so now here in the middle, so now here we have get together. So get together has a pink border. So here it can represent relationships, right? Because we have a couple in the image. So this is a relationship-oriented card, but it's also a connector card, and it connects cards on either side. So here we have, confusion, uncertainty, doubt. It's connected to the idea of something being wrong, bad, a mistake, or off. Now, gloomy thoughts and this card here, get together is about other people. So this can be about other people in your community, in your group. This is a card for me that can represent the public and society. So there may be in the body, right? Remember, this is about the external. So there may be some confusion, doubt, uncertainty about other people. Or confusion, doubt, uncertainty that's going to affect other people or have an effect on other people. And with the gentleman on the card looking at them, it may be about the mindset is going to be affecting how we view other people. Right? So now, also in the body, this card could be about meetings, it could be about appointments, it could be about sessions, right? So there may be some uncertainty, doubt, confusion, or some negativity or pessimism about meeting with other people. So that would be how it would look at it here on this side. Now remember, this is the card about the effect in terms of falseness. This is what's being affected. So there is something being hidden or concealed that could be affecting the public, right? This card can also be about when it's about people, could be about insincerity, deception, dishonesty, right? So this could be more of a collective read, right? There may be affecting the public at large or society at large. Then there may be some negativity, pessimism, confusion, doubt. There could be something being hidden, concealed, or some sort of dishonesty or deception even. Now, it could also be that for me with the mask, this could be about playing a role or a part. I tend to look at this card as actors and actresses. So it could be with the get together card, it could be like, how is a group of people, what role or part is a group of people playing? Maybe when it comes to perception, right? Gloomy thoughts could be about perception, how people are being perceived, right? And that would be in a negative light. And what role or part do they play in that perception? Okay, so now let's move on here. And here we have the tree card. So now tree is a card that can represent growth and development. So now, if this is what's being hidden, so there's a growing situation, a developing situation that's being hidden and concealed that could affect the public. Now, here, tree is also a card that represents health and healing. So there may be something having to do with the topics of health and healing that's being concealed from the that could affect the public. Now, this could also be about, if we mirror these two cards, this could be about meetings, appointments, sessions with people who work in the health profession, in the health industry. Now, for some people, again, just as the fortune card in the previous line, I like seeing that card on Samhain. I also like seeing this on Samhain because this card can represent ancestors, right? Because this would be about our roots, our family tree. And so Samhain is an observance of the ancestors. If you are one who is walking a spiritual path outside of the three Abrahamic traditions or religions or paths, a lot of those would be associated with the idea of ancestor veneration, honoring our ancestors. So with that in mind, it could even be that someone is keeping their spiritual growth and development hidden from other people because there may be some perception of negativity or pessimism with that. And then the other people could be here. If this is about other people, then this could also be about extended family. And why? It's because the central issue here is that some people would think it's wrong, it's bad, yeah? So there's a certain couple of ways of looking at this. You know, if there's more of a, this is what I'm doing this is how I'm walking my spiritual path in my everyday physical experience, right? This is about the body, then this would make sense in that regard. If this is more about a collective, then this also would make sense in terms of the idea about the health and the healing with what's going on politically speaking. Right? So also too, tree is a card of patience. And so here we could have, mirroring this card again, being patient with other people. And then if you're walking a different spiritual path and you think that this could be a thing where you're going to be told that what you're doing is wrong or bad, or it's going to be perceived negatively, then here, if we look at the image again on falseness, then you have the power to reveal that aspect of yourself when you are ready. You don't have to do it on anybody else's timetable. Right? Tree represents something that takes a long time to grow, right? So you don't have to be in a hurry, or you don't even have to do it at all if you decide that. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing with these cards. So let's look at this last card here. And here we have, oh my gosh, here we have the mirror card. So the mirror card for me is about reflection, and it's about self-reflection, right? This is a card about image, identity, right? Because we look at ourselves in mirrors, right? So this could be about looking at ourselves, right? And what I would offer here at the end, if we mirror gloomy thoughts and mirror, it could be about don't let the negativity of others affect how you look at yourself. Right? Negativity of others, how you look at yourself. Now, if I go back to my idea that this could be about ancestor work, ancestor veneration, things like that, then that is, your ancestors are a reflection of you, right? Because they are part of your lineage, part of your line. And I love about this order of the cards, right? This being first and then this, is that they have played a role or a part in you becoming who you are. Yeah? So that's what I'm seeing here. I'm thinking about the other dynamic. That was the spiritual one. But if we're talking about, health and well-being and possibly healthcare, the mirror card would be about something being reflected, right? It is a reflection of the people who are trying to conceal and hide things. And that maybe we need to see that, right? Because we look in mirrors, right? And then sometimes if it's about image, then it could be about someone may get to the point where they realize that the image they've held of other people has been distorted, or is not the truth, or has been shattered. Yeah? So that's what I want to say about this line, and I'll wrap up there. And so we're going to pick up the cards one more time, and our final reading is going to be one on spirit. And here we are with the deck reassembled on the table once again, and I'm going to pick up the deck, shuffle the cards, and we're going to be taking a look at spirit. And so this could just be about your spiritual path, your spiritual walk. What do we need to know about that if you're spiritually minded or inclined? Okay? And so let's get into that right now. All right, the cards have been shuffled, cut, and dealt. So now remember, this line is going to represent spirit, and we're going to be taking a look at the middle line, middle of the card, middle of the line first with the third card, if I get the words out. And so remember, this is the heart of the matter, central issue, or the focus. And so here we have child. Okay, so now child is a card that can represent something that's new, something that's beginning, the start of something, something that is in its infancy. So if we're reading on spirit, then this could be the beginning phases of maybe something having to do with their spiritual path, spiritual tradition, perhaps a new rite of passage, or that there's something that you don't have a whole lot of experience in regarding something spiritually related, right? Because this card would be also about inexperience as well. So that's what I would offer here in light of the context, or in going with the context, right? Now, it could also be that somebody is doing some spirit work regarding children, right? That, because child can also be literally about children, right? But I'm going to go more with the idea that this is the beginning phase of something, the start of something, something that we are a novice in. Again, that would be about being inexperienced, right? So that's what I would say here. Opening the line up, we have, you cannot, you cannot make this stuff up. There are moments like right now where I'm so happy that I'm filming something and people can watch it in real time as I'm doing it, right? So here we have the priest card, right? This is the card of spirituality, yeah? So this is, I love it here. So this is again about, something opening up regarding our spirituality, right? And so here we have again something new, beginning, start, being maybe introduced to something new or something that's in its infancy stage. Now, this does not necessarily mean, because of the word priest, something that is considered mainstream or traditional, right? This card, when I designed it, I had in mind the different spiritual traditions or paths in which there is, quote unquote, a priest involved, right? So this could be certain magical paths or traditions where there's a high priest, right? So there is, in Druidry, there is the idea of a priest, right? In Wicca, there is the idea of a high priest, right? So it could be any spiritual path or tradition in which there is a priest or even a priestess involved, right? Now, this could also be for your spiritual path. There is a great focus here on either prayer or meditation or both, right? So it could be, for some people, that could be a new thing or something that they don't consider that having a whole lot of experience in, right? And I will also note this, that because I made mention of the purple candle at the beginning of the video being about spirit communication, this is also a spirit communication card. If you go with the idea that when we engage in prayer, that we are communicating with spirit, right? So this could be the greater spirit, great spirit, the creator spirit, right? Or it could be communication with the spirit world. And Samhain is the day that people who engage in it or observe it or celebrate it spend time communicating with those in spirit. Yeah? So it could be, if I go with that, if this could be even a card about mediumship, then it could be something that's new, something that's beginning, or something that people are engaging in, and it's new for them because they don't have a whole lot of experience in it. Right? So that's what I would say about the priest card. This is the card about faith and prayer, meditation, contemplation. I'm going with the image. I'll hold it up again. Being open and receptive to downloads from the divine, right? Because you can see the halo or the nimbus of light around the priest's head in the image. So this could be about, your upper chakras being activated even, right? So this would be your brow chakra, your crown chakra, right? And it could also be too, I'm being told to say that this could be about people who are stepping into the role of perhaps spiritual leadership as well, right? Because he's wearing purple robes and that is the color of spiritual authority. Or it could even be adopting a more spiritual attitude or role as you move through life, right? Now, I thought I was done. I have a lot to say about this card. So now, in the image, he's also standing in a temple. So in magical traditions, this could be about your inner temple, right? And so it could be that people are performing rituals or ceremonies where going into their inner temple is going to play a role of that. Like they start off the ceremony going into their inner temple, right? And I'm going with the idea, if we were talking about maybe something more mainstream, traditional, then this could be about the idea, I've heard this expression out in the world. They call it your prayer closet, right? So that's what I want to say with the priest card. I think I'm done, but I may come back to it. Okay, so now the card in between priest and child, we have scalpel. Okay, so now scalpel is a card that talks about the act of cutting something out, removing something, extracting something. Yeah, because scalpels are a part of surgical procedures, right? So that's the first thing that I want to offer, right? And so it goes into, the way it works is that it's a directional cue. It cuts into the card on its right. So scalpel is cutting into child. So this idea about cutting out or removing the idea that you don't have enough experience, right? Let's cut that out, right? So it could be for some people on their spiritual tradition, they may be stuck in I'm in beginner mode, I'm in novice mode. They may be telling themselves, I don't have enough experience doing this, kind of thing. And the spirit world is saying, cut that out. Yeah? It's time to cut that out. Okay, and then the other thing could be about how you can incorporate your spiritual path into your life more, because this card is about operations. Yes, so because of the image, the scalpel is used in operation. So this could be about, you know, allowing spirit to operate more into your life. Yeah, giving it a bigger role than maybe it already has, because child would indicate something that's small, little, or minor. And then the last thing I will say, for some people, if you want to move beyond being a beginner, novice, being inexperienced, right, the center of the heart of the line, then this card here is about sharpening your skill. For me, when I created the deck, this is one of the cards that would be about me doing my divination work, yeah? And so when I get the scalpel, it's about sharpening my skill set, working on becoming more precise with my readings, more accurate in my readings, yeah? So this could work twofold. It could be, what do you need to cut out? What do you need to remove? What do you need to extract from your life that maybe is not working, right? The idea of surgery is that surgery is about repairing some kind of damage, yeah? Fixing something that is quote-unquote wrong or quote-unquote unhealthy, yeah? And being willing to remove that. Now, it's also a card about healing. That's the green border. So this is a healing card in my deck. So it could be about removing something as part of a process or a procedure for healing. Yeah. So it could be like for spiritual practitioners, then this is about you moving beyond the beginner novice mindset and saying, I want to sharpen my skill. I want to become more precise in my work. I want to see more accuracy in my work. Or that this is a nod to saying that you are actually a spiritual healer, right? So that's what I want to say with these cards. Let's take a look on the card on this side. So, oh my gosh, you cannot make this up. I'm so excited about this line. So here we have the Path card, and I didn't say this before, but the cards Path and Priest have purple borders. They are the spirit cards in the deck, and I love them showing up in the spirit line, yeah? So now this is about your path. This is about moving forward. This is about your direction. Right, and so this is about advancement, moving forward, taking the next step on your path. And it also talks about something that could be occurring over a period of time. This is about going the distance. For me, this card has a timing of 1 to 2 years, right? And I love seeing it in that regard. So it could be, you know, in order to move beyond this beginner mindset, let's say, or this state of being a beginner or being inexperienced or being a novice, then here we have, if you give it time, if you take the next step, you'll move beyond that. And so order of the cards, moving beyond that. And then the last thing I will say here, or maybe a couple of things, the rainbow in the image. So this was intentional on my part. So the rainbow here could symbolize weathering a storm, right? Because more often than not, you can physically see a rainbow after a significant storm, right? So this could be about the storms in life and moving beyond them, yeah? And then that would make sense if we mirror scalpel to path, right? About that idea about extraction, removal. This could be about, you know, removing or operating on the things surgically, right? Which means that I'm doing it with some intention, some focus, right? About removing what's not working in my life, so I could move beyond those stormy periods. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is that for me, the rainbow can represent, in more traditional spiritual paths, this could represent the covenant with the divine, right? So people could be coming into agreement with the divine of their understanding, right? Because we all Not everybody walks the same path in the same way, right? So that's the first thing. And then the second thing for me more personally is that the rainbow can represent the spectrum of angels, right? So people could literally be working with angels, and then the priest and the path card could be about angel work. You know, so this could be people who are into angel magic, angelic Wicca. There is such a thing. But having the angels be your companions, your guardians as you walk your path. Yeah? Oh, I love this, right? So again, this is about your path. This card can also be about like your calling, your purpose, and people working towards that maybe more fully, more intentionally. And then child and path could be like, you know, taking the next step on your path. This could be like a baby step on your path. Yeah? Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, and then the last card. Here we have younger man. Okay. So now what I'm noticing here is because child and younger man are people cards, they have a magenta border. Here we have some sense of growth and development. If we are moving from a child to a younger man, right? So this is about, you know, maturation. It's about growth and development in that sense. Yeah? Now, if I mirror priest and younger man, this could be for more people who are moving into their spiritual paths or traditions with the idea of maybe doing something more business related with it. Because this card for me can be about business and finance. So this could be, you know, walking the path of your spiritual tradition or some aspect of spirituality that you want to share with the public. And so allowing that to grow and develop. Right? It could be offering somebody something that comes in like steps. Path. Or maybe helping people become more clear about the direction that they want to move in. But I'm seeing here growth and development along the path. And understanding now path could suggest that the growth and development will take time. That your growth and development is not an overnight sensation, yeah? And then the younger man, this will be how I wrap up. He's wearing a suit in the image, and so this could be about a path that is suited for you or well suited for you. Yeah? And the only way that you'll discover that would be to maybe sit in prayer, pray about it, meditate on it, contemplate it. You know, be open and receptive to whatever answers come through. And then Scalpel would be saying taking some kind of action on that to move beyond the beginning phase of it into something where it evolves a little bit more, or you become a little bit more mature in your understanding of it. Yeah? But again, this would be a nice way to end it. This would be about a path that is suited for you, well suited for you. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and conclude this line here. And not just the line, but the reading, the video. So if you made it to this point in the video with me, thank you so much for giving me the gift of your time, especially today as I observe Samhain. I'm so excited for how this session turned out. And so I'm going to sign off so I can start doing some more personal work in my observance of Samhain. So I'm wishing you all a wonderful day, however you choose to honor it, whether it's Halloween or Samhain or maybe even some of both, right? But however you choose to observe it or celebrate it, I hope you have a great day. And I look forward to sharing this space here with you in our next Oracle Outlook video reading together. So until then, be well, take care, and have a great weekend.